What's going on? What's the problem, UFC Busan judges, that we don't know the faces of, the names of, that make all of their mistakes in privacy and face none of the consequences time and time again? What is going on, judges in MMA? Because Aleksandar Rakic clearly won that fight, and there must be something that you guys aren't quite understanding yet with only multiple decades in the sport. There's some kind of issue, clearly, because Aleksandar Rakic clearly won that fight. 2 rounds to 1, if not 3 rounds to nothing. So clearly there's some kind of issue, right? Clearly there is. Because guess what? There was no grappling in the first 2 rounds. Other than Aleksandar Rakic taking down Volkan Oezdemir once. Okay? And other than that, it's just a counting game, right? It's a game of counting. And Aleksandar Rakic landed more shots than Volkan Oezdemir. You judges can count, right? That's not even a matter of opinion. That's numbers. And you counting the numbers. And acknowledging the numbers and going, oh yes, that guy won the round. Aleksandar Rakic clearly won that fight against Volkan Oezdemir. And this is happening time and time again. And those same judges are going to be at a fight next weekend. And they're going to be at the McGregor versus Cerrone fight. Maybe one of them. And they're going to continue to make mistakes for the sport. And nothing's going to happen to them. Nothing is going to happen to them. They're going to be continually employed. And there's not going to be anything else said about it whatsoever. Aleksandar Rakic just earned half of his money. And we just lost another light heavyweight contender. We just lost Johnny Walker. A month before that, we lost Jimmy Crute. Now down goes Aleksandar Rakic because Volkan Oezdemir gets a victory that he doesn't fucking deserve. What is going on? And before you guys talk about, oh, Volkan Oezdemir got robbed last time, so surely this is right? It doesn't work like that. If someone stabs me, I don't have the right to go and stab them back. That's not how the world works. Okay? It's not crime for crime. It's crime and then punishment on the guy who committed the crime. And the people who commit the crime are the judges, and they're not being punished. And I don't know what's going on. We need life in the light heavyweight division, and we're losing it by the fucking day. Rakic was our hope. Now we've got fuck all. Rakic outlanded Oezdemir in the first 2 rounds. Clearly, we saw the numbers. Surely the judges can see those numbers. I know they can. Surely they can look at those numbers and think, well, the only takedown was Rakic, so surely Rakic won. Because that's all that means. So there's a problem with counting. So I think the move from here on out is fire all of those judges that were at UFC Busan, because there were some other questionable decisions as well that shouldn't have been split decisions whatsoever. Fire all those judges and let's start doing some basic maths when we're employing our judges. Okay? So I want the judge to come into the room with Dana White and whoever else is interviewing them to work for the UFC. And I want the person behind the desk who's interviewing them just to ask them a few basic maths questions. Like, is the number 26 more than the number 20? And if they answer no, then kick them out of the room and don't employ them as judges. I need a fucking job. Give me the fucking job as judging. I'll never get a single fight wrong. We just had Aldo versus Moraes. Okay? We just had it. And now there's this. And Rakic was the guy, man. He was looking slick. In the 3rd round, he kind of slowed down. And I can give that 3rd round to Oezdemir, honestly. The 3rd round was back and forth. And Rakic even had a moment where he rocked Oezdemir against a cage and landed like a few punch combination. But I could still, maybe, if you forced me, see that round for Volkan Oezdemir because he was putting him against a cage and he was landing some shots on the inside. Maybe I could see that. But other than that, it's a game of counting and these judges have not counted correctly. They don't know that the number 26 of Rakic is higher than the number 18 of Volkan Oezdemir. And the number 1 of takedowns of Rakic is higher than the number 0 of Volkan Oezdemir. Why is that so hard to understand? Rakic is a young guy, a young talent, who is well on his way to the top. Just beat a top contender in Volkan Oezdemir, who I think has got a bad rap. If he beat Dominic Reyes and that decision had gone his way, another fucked up decision from the judges, he would still be in the top 5 right now, and Rakic technically just beat a top 5 guy. And we'd be in a completely different situation right now. But now we don't have anything. We have Volkan Oezdemir calling out Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith's already beaten him. No one cares about that fight whatsoever. Aleksandar Rakic versus Anthony Smith would be absolutely fucking amazing. I'd orgasm for that fight. I really would. But now we get to see Oezdemir versus Smith, the rematch. The rematch we've all been waiting for. The rematch we want more than McGregor Khabib. More than the trilogy between DC and Stipe Miocic. Now we get to see Volkan Oezdemir versus Anthony Smith. I don't even know anymore. I honestly don't know what to do. Like, there should be some kind of consequences. I'll be honest with you guys. I hate, more than anything to do with the judges, I kind of hate the commentary as well. Because I know for a fact, and Joe Rogan has mentioned this on the podcast, they can hear what the judges are thinking. Okay? They can hear what the judges are thinking of the fight's going to be before it goes into the ring. How do we know this? Because the judges have shown sort of scorecards to the commentary before. In the Woodley versus Wonderboy fight, the commentary was confused because they raised both hands when the commentary already knew the decision of the fight. So the commentary just sits there and sort of goes, well, it could have gone either way, and could have gone either way here, Mike, and it's all Dan Hardy and all that, just trying to cover up the whole situation of what's just gone on. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke, man. I don't know what to do anymore. I really don't know what to do. The fact that you can see any of rounds 1 and 2 for Volkan Oezdemir, not only should you be fired from judging, you should be, maybe not killed, maybe not murdered. Maybe not murdered, but maybe just kept alive and tortured instead. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I want to see Aleksandar Rakic versus Anthony Smith. Because he just won his fight. Just a minute ago, he just won his fight against Volkan Oezdemir. So Aleksandar Rakic versus Anthony Smith sounds good to me. And let's see Volkan Oezdemir try and redeem himself after another loss in his career. And maybe we can see Volkan Oezdemir versus, I don't know. Let's think. Devin Clark, another guy coming off a loss. Rakic versus Smith. Oezdemir versus... We're ignoring the judge's decision for Aldo, right, Dana White? You said that you're going to give Aldo a title shot versus Henry Cejudo, right? This was a much more clear decision than the Aldo fight. So I'm guaranteeing you, if we don't see Rakic move up the rankings and get his due, holy shit, that was a fucking robbery. There are some fights that aren't robberies. Volkan Oezdemir, Dominic Reyes was close. It should have gone to Volkan Oezdemir. It didn't go to Volkan Oezdemir. There are other fights that are close that should have gone to this guy. And it didn't go to this guy, it went to the other guy. But you're like, okay. Oh well, should have gone to him, it went to the other guy. Maybe I'm seeing things wrong. But it's a game of counting. They showed the total strikes. There was no grappling other than when Rakic took Oezdemir down in the first round. So that's again another positive for Aleksandar Rakic. It's a game of counting. Do you understand that the number 26 is higher than the number 18? Because if you don't, then leave the sport of MMA for good, please. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button there. Goodbye. And it happens again 2 weekends in a row. Rakic goes home with half his fucking money. Goodbye.